Hey everybody, welcome back. To my little series over here. Like I said, I'm gonna give you guys updates on a regular basis regarding things that are going on with me, not only with my campaign but my work and some personal stuff here and there. So first of all, for all those that care, the movie club, we have some cool stuff coming up. So join the movie club. We do cool stuff. All right, and then. Upcoming projects with Devil Dog. We have our poker night this Sunday. It's a private game in the Bronx, so if you want to play, it's a $20 buy-in. The house doesn't get anything. It's all for charity. So winner, first place gets 60%, second place gets 30%, and third gets 10%. So the money's distributed back into whoever's playing. And then on the 31st, Tuesday, we're also having a meet and greet. So if anybody wants to come down and meet me and talk to me in person, that's a perfect opportunity. There's going to be more opportunities to be able to talk to me directly as an executive officer and then as an individual running for candidate or just as an individual person. So if you ever have the need or want to speak to me, depending on the capacity, it will be available to you. For Devil Dog, it's on a regular basis. It's my job to talk to people. So that's one thing. For, let's say, my personal and my candidacy it's a little different. You can't just stand anywhere you want and start talking about, oh, I'm running for office. It's kind of weird, Can you? Yeah, you can, but I don't operate like that. So I'm giving you guys chances to either meet me at a designated location to talk about things, or if you want, you can actually host me at a location that you want at a time that's convenient and location for both of us. And once again, I'm not worried about a district line where it is. I'm working the city. So if you want me and you're like in Queens and Brooklyn or whatever, I'm willing to go down there. I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to engage. So in my work capacity, I have spectrum of everything already in place. When it comes to my personal / candidacy, I have to operate a little bit different because it's, once again, gray lines across the board when it comes to like an executive officer of a nonprofit being able to do that type of stuff as well. But like I said, the last couple of weeks, you've seen some different things. I've made more things public. Like, most people see my face on a flyer or my face in pictures doing an event or working something, but they don't understand like the intricate details that are behind the scenes. So now you're getting a little bit of it. And as the weeks and months progress, you'll see more of that. Once again, it's not that I'm just starting it. It's just, this is the first time I'm making it visible. So even for myself, this is a new territorial situations that are coming up. So, I'm learning and growing as an individual that's putting it out there. So, there's going to be hit and misses. I always like to do a spectrum of things and see which one works and then follow those leads. That's business 101, just for somebody who's like wondering, well, how does he do all these things? When it comes to Devil Dog, my capacity and that knowledge is already there. When it comes to the candidacy part, it's not there 100%. I know what to do, but because my goal is to win, I have to operate differently than what the norm would be, because the norm wouldn't work for a normal person. You don't go against an incumbent and expect to really win. You're just trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to build up revenue or something. There's always something like a silver lining thing. For me, it's not about those things. For me, it's about winning. Period. Winning. Like, my goal is to win. So I'm not taking one venue or the normal process or anything like that. I'm doing it my way to show that it's capable to do, just like I've done everything else in my career. So, if I didn't have the accolades that I have, I think people would question me more. But since I do, let's see the process and see how it goes, okay? And that being said, there's one thing that I like to bring up that it's very personal. It's something that, normally I wouldn't bring up at all in any capacity ever in a public setting. But Vanessa, my good friend Vanessa, did bring up a subject matter that it's very dear to my heart, and it's To be honest, I'm trying to avoid getting emotional right now because of how the seriousness of it. The father of her children, committed suicide. We were good friends. We served in the military together. We lived together. We ate together. We slept nearby each other. We weren't the best of friends. He had his own style of things and I had my own style. So that was always a situation to be considering, well, what do we do in that capacity? Like, is our friendship going to be built on something or not? And in that, during those time periods, in my youth, I was a different person. I was a young man, just left the Bronx. I just left the Bronx. I had never been outside of the Bronx, really, the New York City area, to be honest. And meeting individuals from all over the country in like a dorm setting was like it was a great time in my life, and I loved it. And I met people just like James Holcomb, Sergeant James Holcomb, and even though we didn't become best of friends, we were good friends. We worked together. Like I said, we worked together. We ate together and everything. And as time passed, we separated more. As I became a family man, and he became, his family. We went our separate ways, and then I left units. But we always stayed in contact. Not as much as I wanted to, but we always knew to like send messages or memes or stuff like that. One day he had reached out to me and he saw the work that we're doing at Devil Dog, and he wanted to do a run and be the runner, giving up for charity, basically fundraise for us. And I reached back to him and we went back and forth, but we didn't have any strong communication, up to the point where I guess I was just sending him memes, and waiting for responses. And that's a tragic situation that I've learned is a common thing among individuals when they find out the bad news. That's I guess our generational way of receiving letters or the phone call. Now we're sending memes to each other on social media, and then we find out that the person that is holding their funeral or something like that sends you back a message saying, "Hey, sorry, but this person has passed away," etc. It's more that it has happened more than once to me. So, well, anyway, when I found out that James has passed away, I knew he had children, so I reached out to his family to make sure that if they needed anything, that I was around to help. Well, Vanessa, she was going through a lot, a single mother now, raising two kids that are, that need extra care. It's only so much I can do in my capacity of an executive officer that's across the country, but I gave everything that's available. And just to be clear, the reason I'm talking about this right now is not because I'm trying to give a story or brag or give sentimental feelings. She made this public, and her style of talking is of an emotional individual that wants to share not only what I've done for her, but the opportunities that are out there for other individuals in that process. So, but for me as an individual, as an executive, as a peer specialist, as a chaplain, as a suicide prevention personnel, the reason why I'm talking about this is that you guys understand that, one, I'm always available to talk if you need in the capacity of a suicide, period. And if you don't feel comfortable with me, I would make sure that you have the ability to reach out to somebody else. I would give you venues, many, many, many venues. So just to be clear and narrow with that. When it comes to this story, this is just one example of how I've been able to reach such far distances and then build relationship liaisons across the country. Because when I tell people my reach is pretty far, people are like, okay, whatever. But I'm going to explain one story of many. And I don't normally talk about this because there's no reason to talk about it. But Vanessa made it open for me to talk about it because she wants it to be known. And then now I'm telling you, but in my words, in a more direct and more personal way, you know. Because once again, you guys know me for doing this, and this, but you don't know like how it gets done. So, and this is here, it's a lesson 101 on marketing, branding, and just being a good person in the end of the day. So when I found out her situation, like I didn't know, you know, her backstory. I didn't know anything. I just know she lost the father of her children, and that was it. For the last couple, like when I found out about 2-3 years ago, you know, I made myself available. But as time came up and I found that these issues were problematic and etc. So I was like, well, let's start working on them. You're like, you're the key personnel that I would help. And she's like, well, how would you do that? Well, being a mother of 2 and now having to go back to the workforce, you know, I know for a fact it's going to be hard for her, or would be hard for her. So I was like, look, I can't give you a job, a paying job right now, because we don't have that type of funds. But what I can do is give you an internship, give you some guidance and a position and a title, and then build up your resume and then help you network as well. And, you know, even she hesitated, like, okay, whatever. And now, get this, now she's one of the most powerful women in the country. Her reach and social media capabilities is incredible. I feel good that I had some part into it. It was all her, but just like everybody else had helped me in my process of being where the position I am now, I had a little step in her. You know, I'm like, look, Vanessa, instead of talking like this, do something like this. Vanessa, instead of posting like this, post a little something like this. You know, little tiny things. And, you know, she's not in the position where she wants to be right now, but she's getting there. And she literally has the ability to. But, you know, life throws curves at you and you have to navigate. And what I tell people, and not just her, but I'm saying to everybody, you know, get your house in order before you try to make leaps and bounds. You know, you can't run for office if you have problems speaking publicly. You know, that makes sense, right? So the same thing in your workforce, in your career, in your life. Make sure your stuff is in order before you try to make the next leap. And, you know, with her, like, the power she wields is incredible. Like, it would be too difficult to explain in this situation, but let me give you an example of how she's progressed over the years. You know, before she was looking for a place as an outlet. Now she's the outlet for many organizations, many groups. So her voice carries a lot of weight behind it. And, you know, we are working on programs right now that are really big, but she's humble, I'm humble. So we just want to get the work done. That's all we've ever cared about. But now that I'm in the limelight, it helps everything progressively as well. So a tragedy happened. I went to go do something nice and good for somebody. And from there, build upon it. Not intentionally, but that's just the way it happens for me over the years. This is the way my progress has been. So once I identified what she could do, she did her stuff. And then we come back and circle back. Now she's been, you know, she started as interning. Now she has a position as our social media manager. You know, our social media numbers have increased like 5-fold. And then we work in a network basis across the country, and we're trying to expand, you know, like every month we're trying to go further and further. So where is it going to end? I don't know, because we didn't intentionally go for that. She didn't intentionally go. I didn't. We just wanted to help each other, help the community, and in all the name of somebody who we both love dearly, Sergeant James Holcomb. One example that she opened up about was her kids didn't have an outlet to grieve for their father. And there's a memorial park that's nearby, and they had given a space for his remembrance, but there was no plaque or anything. So, I started, she's in Arkansas, I'm in the Bronx. So I opened a GoFundMe. I hate GoFundMe, but I would rather use Devil Dog's donate page, which is a PayPal a credential nonprofit, etc. Link for fundraising. But people feel more comfortable with GoFundMe because it's the more media attention grabbing thing. So we started a GoFundMe page to get a plaque, and people from all over the country gave a little bit here and there. People from the Bronx, people from California, people from here, people from there. So that shows the capabilities of what a small organization in some random place has the power to do if they network the right way to begin with. But to have that in place, it's an impossible thing. Like, we, Devil Dog ourselves, do fundraisers for things and we don't get pennies for it. We don't get nothing. But I'm always intrigued to see what works and what doesn't work. But this specifically, the plaque for James, was specifically just for that situation. And it made me feel so good that so many people cared about his story to donate so that a plaque would be put in the local park in remembrance of him, so that his children can have a place to grieve for their father. For somebody to serve their country in the capacity that he did, he had gone to Iraq and Afghanistan. I believe he did a total of 3 tours. He came back home and tried to situate himself, and it just didn't work out for him. And now the after effects is that his family needs help. But how can we get it there? How can we do it? Like, we can't give them everything they need, but we can give them the tools. We can give them some of the resources. And, over time, we've done our little parts here and there to look over them. I'm happy that I'm a part of their family, their kids, the kids, hey, Gonzo, how you guys do? How you doing, Gonzo? Oh, Merry Christmas, happy birthday. And, I check up on them as well to see their progress over the years. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for Vanessa to helping me grow my organization as well from over there, from all the way from Arkansas, helping people in the Bronx, but helping the community nationally at the same time. We're developing a peer specialist Facebook group. The Facebook group is already in place through her other for the love of mental health, hashtag for the love of mental health. But we're trying to expand that more. So like my thing is veteran centric. She has veteran ties. So that's the capability that I'm narrowing. So I've identified what she can do, and now I'm narrowing down how can I be a part of it? How can I give them resources? How can I do stuff like that? So that gives you a demonstration of, my mind capacity of and work ethic. So that's something I'm just sharing with you because of a beautiful reason for Vanessa sharing her story. So Vanessa, first of all, thank you so much, not only for supporting me, supporting Devil Dog, supporting the community of the veteran in a national capacity, the individuals that need help. Thank you. You don't get thank you enough. This is me saying thank you on behalf of the veteran community, the general community. Thank you for the sacrifices that you've had to put in for this country, and for the sacrifices that your family has made, most of all. So I'll digress with a little bit of a different topic. In the months to come, I'm gonna share stories like this as long as individuals share them, make it public, because personally, I don't like to talk about this, but these are things that need to be known for bigger causes, for greater reasons, above me and what I'm trying to do. You know, stories like these are the reason why the world goes round. This is the reason why activists work harder, or individuals push forward. That story right there is the reason why I have faith in humanity, that gives me the steam to wake up every morning and work harder and harder for nothing, you know, to push harder, to fight harder, to accomplish goals that I never thought would be possible, in the name of something greater than myself, greater than her, greater than you. So, you know, I hope that this story not only gives you a better light of me, a better light of Vanessa, her family, Sergeant James Holcomb, but also to individuals in general. Like, up until this point, many people didn't know the story behind of why I did that GoFundMe page. It was just, there was a veteran that needed help. That's it. That's the only thing that needs to be told in general, but nobody knows the story behind it. And that's just one. As long as they share it, the individuals share it, and allows me to open up, or they share the story themselves, that's where it helps and benefits not only me, the Devil Dog USA, my personal, my candidacy. All those things are helped by you, the individual, saying something. So, you know, I'm giving you the platform. I'm giving you the ability once again to say, look, this is what this guy has done for me. This is what this organization has done for me. This is what I expect, if he won office, to do for you. So once again, I'm not asking for District 17 to be rally for me. I'm asking you, if you're watching, talk about it, learn what you like, what you don't like, put it in there, share it, comment, like. I want the national attention so that it brings it down so hard upon District 17. Like, hey, if people in California rallying for a guy across the country saying, why aren't you putting this guy in office? And you have another guy who hasn't done anything for you. I'm not saying him specifically, my opponent. I'm saying in general. Because if things were so great, then why is everybody always complaining? There's not enough food. There's not enough resources. There's not enough housing. Things are too expensive. Blah, 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 blah. You continue to the same rhetoric of talking about what's not good and what's not progressive and what's not helping you. But when something's in front of you, helping you, saying, vote for me, then it's difficult. Then you don't have time for it. Then you're too busy. So be it. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to continue doing everything that I've done for the many, many years. Now, if I have to stop, change, redirect myself to help community District 17 as the next city council, then that's what I'm going to do, because you put me in that position. Now, it's in your hands to put me in that position. All the things that you talk about and not taking action about, fine, put me to work. Put me to work. And if in 2 years I can't make the progress that I'm talking about or mentioned, then guess what? Get the other guy hired back. He'll come, you know, or there'll be another person. But I'm here right now. I'm not doing it a month before election. I'm doing it months before election. I'm telling you, rally behind me. Go to www.gonzaloduran, GONZALODURAN.NYC. Look at what I'm doing. Go to Devil Dog USA. Go through our web pages. Go through our Facebook. Go through things and see what they're... Google Gonzalo Duran. Look at all the things, the history, the years, the efforts that I put in. You know, if you question, oh, well, is this guy going to be the right guy? It doesn't matter if I'm going to be the right guy, okay? Because nobody's going to be perfect. But what I am is somebody who's ready to do the work. And I have a proven record of accomplishing what not only some can't do, but many won't do. So let's get to work, okay? As always, God bless America.